If you would ask me, Sebastian, what is the #1 manifestation technique that led to the biggest changes and to the most incredible manifestations in your life, then I would say it's the technique that I share with you in this video. Because in today's video, I'm gonna reveal why this simple technique is not just powerful when it comes to manifesting health, but also when it comes to manifesting wealth, how to practice this powerful technique step by step so that your life can change on every level. And I reveal countless personal manifestation success stories that were the direct result of this technique. And on top of that, I prepared a very special gift for you. And at some point during the video, I will reveal what it is and where you can download it. And this gift can take your heart activation to the next level. So what if I told you that the simple act of creating brain and heart coherence can completely transform your life and lead to manifestations that you right now can't even imagine? That's exactly what happened to me. And even though I perfected my way of doing brain and heart coherence during the 3 Joe Dispenza advanced retreats I went to, my journey with brain and heart coherence started way earlier. And since then, I manifested the most amazing things with it. I received so many incredible synchronicities and signs and manifestations. For example, when it comes to my personal healing journey, there were amino acids that suddenly popped in my mind that I had never heard of before. They were just there in my imagination, and this then helped me on my healing journey. And when it came to my abundance journey, I had business ideas, business blueprints, downloads for products that I hadn't even thought about, that were not even in my mind. All of this was just coming to me by doing brain and heart coherence. And on top of that, and this is a big factor when it comes to your healing, but also when it comes to you manifesting wealth, by you tuning into your heart exactly the way I will teach you in this video, step by step, you are creating a love for life. Because with your heart, you feel the frequency of love. And as Joe Dispenza always says, when you create from the energy of I'm in love with life, then you naturally create a life that you love. And by definition, this life that you love has all the things, aka the health, the wealth, the abundance, which is kind of the wealth, and the experiences and the love that you want to have in your life. Otherwise, you wouldn't be loving this life. And all of these amazing things started to appear in my reality because of the way Joe Dispenza says, feel in your heart and the brain. All because of that. So now, why is brain and heart coherence so powerful when it comes to you manifesting your dreams? Well, because your heart is your center of creation, and by you activating your heart, you then have a steady Wi-Fi signal. And with this Wi-Fi signal, you can then send the intention out with your visual image in the field, and you then draw the experience back to you with the elevated emotion. And on top of that, brain and heart coherence can have all kinds of positive impacts on your immune system, and it also does something with your energy centers and chakras, but more on that in a moment. Right now, I invite you to comment down below, I am ready for brain and heart coherence. Let the universe know that you are ready for it. And if I can practice brain and heart coherence while I'm lying on the couch in excruciating pain, not being able to get up, not being able to walk, not being able to sit up properly, then you can do it as well. Because my brain and heart coherence journey started in the year 2020, when I manifested myself on the operating table because I was living my life in the hormones of stress. I was always destroying myself. I was limiting myself. I was hating myself. And I then had a cyst in my bladder that had to be removed. And then during the surgery, or after the surgery, probably during the surgery, I then developed severe nerve damage. Of course, I only felt it afterwards once I then woke up out of the, what is it called? Narcosis, I think? Yeah, out of that state where you are. And this then led to my spiritual awakening. Back then, of course, I was cursing the world. Nowadays, I'm incredibly thankful for how everything happened, because I'm very confident that I wouldn't have dived deep into Joe Dispenza's teachings, Neville Goddard's teachings, into healing my body, and then eventually also manifesting abundance if I hadn't had that nerve damage and if I had just been completely healthy after 6 weeks after the surgery. However, when I practiced brain and heart coherence for the first time, I didn't feel anything because I was so cut off from the emotion. So let's say I was cut off from my heart and I was not able to feel any emotions, to feel any love. And my heart was like, huh? You didn't give me any attention for the last 5 lifetimes? Why now? What's going on here? I'm not used to that. That's why it's so important that in the beginning, when I now guide you through the steps, that you don't fall into despair when the first time you practice it, you cannot feel it. I had several coaching clients who I practiced this with who said in the beginning, they just felt nothing or just a little bit, and then I received these WhatsApp messages of, you can't believe it, my heart just blew wide open, it feels so amazing. And this can lead to trauma healing, it can lead to manifestations, it can lead to just the most amazing experiences and changes in your life. And the first step is to place your awareness on your heart. So all you have to do is to breathe in this relaxed 5-second rhythm, where you breathe in 5 seconds, you breathe out 5 seconds, and while you do that, you focus your awareness on your heart. And yes, these are your T-Rex hands. So you focus your awareness on your heart, you breathe in, you breathe out, and what I always do, which really helps me, is to imagine that whenever I breathe in, I breathe into my heart and my heart expands with energy. And whenever I breathe out, I breathe through my heart and I breathe out the energy. And by doing that, you are activating your heart, your center of creation. And now you might be saying, okay, Sebastian, I got step number 1, but how can I now transition to step number 2? How can I feel the energy in my brain or my head? How is that working? Well, when I tried it the first time, I did this. Hello, somebody in there? Can I feel the energy here? Left side, right side, okay. Knock, knock, knock. I don't feel anything. But then I thankfully realized that I don't have to punch myself in the head all the time, but I simply have to place my awareness on different parts around my head to activate this area. And something incredibly powerful is happening when you do that, which I will explain in just a moment. But first, let's go through the individual steps. So I first start with my forehead to place my awareness on it, just like you do it with your heart. Then I continue with the left side, then the right side, then the back of my head, and then the top of my head. And by doing that, you're creating energy in all these areas, because remember, where focus goes, energy flows. And the reason why I personally believe this is so powerful is because by doing that, you automatically, without even trying, activate the energy centers in your head, around your head. So we have, when we create brain and heart coherence, energy center number 4, the heart. Then we have energy center number 6, which is the pineal gland in the back of your head, between the back of your neck and back of your throat. Then we have number 7, which is the third eye. And then we have number 8, which is the energy center on top of our head. There you can imagine you have some kind of party head, and that's where the energy center is. And by you focusing on your forehead, left side, right side, back of your head, top of your head, you are activating that energy and that area. It's actually funny, I wanted to say that area, but it's equally true what I just said. You are activating that energy. And that's where you can then focus on the energy around your head, and you will feel it, and then you're ready for step number 3. But first I want to briefly mention that if you want to find out more about my 8-week abundance reality shift coaching program, in which we will not only practice this, but we will also unblock your energy centers in case there's some money blocks in there, then you can go to affirmationtomanifestation.com/abundance or click on the first link in the description. And now we start with the final and third step of this process. It is not a coincidence that I now have more than 400 times more money in my bank account than I had when I did brain and heart coherence for the first time, because the true magic starts happening when you do this. Got it? In case you got just a little bit confused by my near wow, I want to explain it again with this beautiful drawing with, again, your T-Rex hands. So now the heart is activated, the brain is activated, and then you let the energy flow from your heart to your brain, from your brain to your heart. So again, and from the heart to the brain and the brain to the heart. And then something magical happens when you do that. That's when you're then in this beautiful state where the energy flows up and goes through all these energy centers up there, through 6, through 7, through 8, and then this leads, at least this is my theory, to the connection to the cosmos. And that's where you can then get all the synchronicities, all the downloads, and the direct guidance from above. And if you want to make this process easier for you, you can also use some imagery. I, for example, often imagine a laser beam, just like in Star Wars, going up and down and up and down. But you can also, for example, imagine a waterfall or light. You can imagine whatever feels right for you while you are practicing brain and heart coherence and while you're letting the energy flow up and down. And now that you've mastered the 3 steps of creating brain and heart coherence, you can get your special gift, which makes you feel into your heart even more. It's a powerful hypnosis that you can download when you click on the last link in the description. I want to again mention that if you're ready to work with me one-on-one, you can go to affirmation2manifestation.com/abundance or click on the first link in the description. And earlier I mentioned that I now have 400 times more money in my bank account than I had when I did brain and heart coherence for the first time. And yes, brain and heart coherence had a huge impact on that. However, you also need to do, especially if you work with Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations, you have to do the meditations the right way. And if you click on this video, you will find out how I manifested $400,000 with Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations.